What happens when urban explorers bite a little more than they can chew?
Go, go, go! Go now!
Today, we will be diving into some of the most disturbing encounters ever filmed by urban explorers. Warning, the last clip will shock you. Abandoned school. The thing about urban exploration is that you could either run into the living or the paranormal. It's hard to tell what's worse sometimes, but that's what makes urban exploring the high-octane hobby it is. No matter what is captured in this next video, it's guaranteed to send a shiver down your spine. The footage shows a regular urban explorer rummaging around the grounds of an old school, abandoned for 40-something years. It's around 3 in the morning, the devil's hour, and this man's trip is coming up relatively fruitless. But oh, how things can change so quickly. There's a door in the far left corner, and when he initially enters, this door is open. When he pans back, the door is suddenly closed.
I think someone's here.
He finds that it's a bathroom with a dead end. No one could get in or out without him seeing. It isn't until later, in the editing room, that he turns up the brightness and slows the video down, and a figure can be seen peeking out from the doorframe. When he pans back, the figure is gone. Was this just a squatter, or was it something more sinister? In this case, it might be better that we'll never find out. Pale Man. What happens to these kids in this next video is an encounter with something they will never ever forget. Being an urban explorer is a dangerous profession. You might run into nothing, or you might run into something that will haunt you right until you take your final breath. That's the case for this video, as a group of teenage kids have caught the urban exploring bug, determined to seek out some big-time adrenaline. The town they are from is pretty small, and not a lot ever takes place. That is, until one day, they decide to explore the tunnel systems on the edge of town. It doesn't take long for things to turn terrifying. Just a few minutes into their exploration, the group of explorers hear what sounds like someone jumping into the tunnel directly behind them.
Oh yeah. Wait, shh, 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 shh. No. I can't.
The camera pans to the tunnel ahead, and a black silhouette can be seen in the distance, peering out at them. The group runs at the sight, but in their confusion, they manage to run in the opposite direction of the exit. As they manage to make their way back, strange, animalistic screeching can be heard ahead. It is long before a fully fledged figure emerges from the darkness. The figure seems to be wearing something to cover its face, though it's hard to tell initially. Whatever it is, though, terrifies the group.
Go, go, go! Go now!
The group receives a lot of questions about the video, most specifically, if any homeless people are living in their tunnel system. Since the town they are in is so small, they'd know about any potential candidates for the figure, but they assure everyone they are confident it is no vagabond. What do you make of this? Was this some clever use by some teenage boys looking for their 15 minutes of fame, or did they discover something beyond their wildest nightmares? You be the judge. Horror House. Exploring the countryside at night can be a peaceful, even calming endeavor, but not for the urban explorers in this next video. For what they see at this eerie abandoned house left them unable to even get out of their car. Somewhere in the deep Oklahoman country, 2 urban explorers are making their way on a dark, deserted gravel road, attempting to locate an abandoned house recommended to them by their followers. Now, the house has been sitting vacant for many, many years, with local legend theorizing many different possibilities to its abandonment. One of the men glides the light across the front of the house, trying to get a feel for the house. What they catch, however, is absolutely terrifying.
Holy Yo, go, 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 go.
The figure is watching out the window at the 2 explorers, and it remains motionless as the 2 look on. They shine their bright flashlight at it, but it reveals no facial features whatsoever. Later, the same explorers came to the house during the day, and found the house abandoned with no signs of occupancy at all. So, if there was indeed someone there, they obviously left in a hurry. What could this be? Was this a child left out all alone in an abandoned house? Or was this child doomed to haunt its grounds? Unfortunately, the answer remains unknown. Masonic Menace. If you're a fan of the paranormal, it's fairly likely you've heard of the Freemasons, one of the world's oldest secret societies. Over the years, various rumors about the Freemasons have included things like satanic rituals, human sacrifices, and even establishing a new world order. This next video includes downright terrifying footage captured at an abandoned Masonic temple, home to the Ohio chapter of the mysterious Freemason Society. The temple, built in 1916, has sat abandoned since the 1960s, and before its demolition, an urban explorer makes the long trek to Ohio to explore the temple before it's gone. The man's exploration has gone off without a hitch so far, and as he's wrapping up for the night, he decides to do one more sweep for good measure. As he makes his way back to the ground floor, he is confronted with a door slamming shut in his face. But that's not all. After his footage is edited, the man also notices that he's captured what looks to be an unnaturally tall figure peering out from the same door that slams itself shut. The man checks out the bathroom for himself. There's no one to be found. When he makes his way back to the area, however,
I do not remember closing this door. Hold up.
is this the spirit of the victim of the Freemason Society, trapped inside its temple forever? Or is it all just a clever scam? Lurking Shadow. It seems as though it's always the old historical buildings that harbor the most paranormal activity. That's certainly the case for this next video, which features a popular urban explorer exploring an old, abandoned hospital specifically meant for the criminally insane. The explorer explains that while he did manage to capture a lot of EVPs, otherwise known as electronic voice phenomena, the trip to the abandoned hospital didn't yield the results he was hoping for. That is, until one of his many YouTube followers points out something that he so obviously missed in real time.
Jesus Christ.
As he pans his camera over the building's full layout, you can spot a tall, menacing shadow figure in the door at the very end of the shot. It lingers there for a moment, then walks away rather hurriedly. He doesn't see the figure, as he doesn't react at all, though it happens right in the middle of the frame. So, what do you think? Is it better to know a spirit is in your presence, or would you prefer just not to know? Aggressive poltergeist. This next one is pure, unadulterated nightmare fuel. There's no question about it. You should consider this your final warning. The story starts innocently enough in a brand new hunting lodge, the first one in upstate Michigan, founded together by two hunters who have been friends since they were kids. On one unfortunate night, they were getting ready for their next hunting trip early that morning. While cleaning their guns, one of them unfortunately misfires, killing himself by accident. Fast forward a few years later, the hunting lodge turns up abandoned, still owned by the surviving friend. The man has seen some strange stuff happening, believing it to be his friend. He then calls a team of paranormal investigators to see what they can find, and what they do find is guaranteed to shake you to your very core. While investigating the upper level of the lodge, as they are making their way downstairs, one of the investigators falls to his knees.
Dude, you good? Dude.
And when another investigator goes to ask if he's alright,
Dude, I think I'm... What the f***? What the f***? Yo. Oh, no.
the force with which he is grabbed is obviously unnatural, as it is with a lot of velocity and almost inhuman strength, upwards of 15 feet. The man explained,
I felt like an intense pressure around my ankles, and I guess I slid across the floor.
It's obvious the man is shaken, as he is unable to come up with any words or explanation for almost half an hour. To this day, the man says he has never, ever been the same. So what do you think? Could you go on exploring the paranormal after this? Or would this be your final straw?